These bullets don't have any names on them. Let's see what he's talking about.
Probably the best there is out there.
For sure.
And you can't replicate it.
Nope.
Hey, listen, hey, Uncle Joe, we ain't got to talk about nobody. We ain't got to be negative to get the views to be entertaining. Everything is organic. The stories are real. Man, ain't even close.
Where is this coming from? Different energy. Ain't nothing wrong with flexing, especially when you flexing and everybody see those muscles. They at the top. I don't know if they're number one, but they certainly at the top. Shout out to Nightcap as they are smelling their roses that they're picking. Let's see what they really talking about, because it seems like that was the top layer or something deeper.
Hey, but Joe, but after I say all that, you still gonna get these hands though.
I give you prime example.
Okay.
Everybody that had a pod, what did they talk about? The hottest story, the trending story was Kenyon.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel that if you want to talk about it, Ocho, we could have talked about it. But I don't feel I have anything to add. I didn't feel like I had anything to add to it.
Yeah.
Okay, we getting there. We getting to another level and another layer. But I don't see what's the issue with talking about Kenyon's situation. There's a lot of life lessons in that. Talking about the timeline, right? The discrepancies in the timeline. Talking about somebody who has a disability. Should you cross that line or not? Some people say, hey, I'm sensitive to that. Some don't. Talking about one of the biggest pods out there as well. That's newsworthy. And we're all talking nouns. So don't get caught up in this trap. I think this is the trap that people try to set, especially when they're insecure, that we're not talking about nouns. Every show, everywhere is talking about the same thing. A person, a place, or a thing. There's nothing else to talk about. So when you pick your lane, your genre, your style, that's your choice. If you like to wear that cologne, go ahead, wear Aramis. You want to wear Obsession? Do you. Sound, smell like the 80s if you want to, the 90s. Point being, it's your flavor. That's how you want your tacos with ketchup.
Yeah.
All this other stuff that was going on. We don't talk about other people because I think there's enough stuff happening that we can talk about that without mentioning them.
Yeah.
You hear that? People, that, them. Nouns, okay? You talk about, everyone has to talk about somebody, including yourself. You started off talking about yourself. Now, you don't talk about people, but you didn't want to talk about Kenyon. But what are you going to talk about? I guarantee you got to talk about LeBron. I guarantee you got to talk about Luka right now. I guarantee you got to talk about AJ in the tournament losing but balling. Like, these are topics. Now, you choose to talk about those topics, and then, let's be real, we all act like we just talking about the performance. But it's impossible, because when you talk about the performance, you want to know what fueled that performance. Guess what fueled it? The person.
Absolutely right.
And people don't want to hear you constantly talk about Shannon Sharpe or Stephen A. Smith. They want to hear you talk about you're a sports show, so talk about some sports.
Yeah.
Hell, I ain't played sports in a quarter damn century.
Yeah.
But that's what makes us unique. We talk about sports. We can make things entertaining.
Yeah.
We'll take the simplest things and make it very, very entertaining. People want to be entertained. At the end of the day, people want to be entertained.
Okay, so don't talk about you. Don't talk about Stephen A. Smith. That sounds interesting. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What if LeBron said, don't talk about me? Lucas said, me either. We teammates. Like, it's funny you pick your way and then sound like that's the way. There are very successful platforms out there that are doing great, that talk about y'all and talk about them and talk about everything. See, this is a I can dish it out, can't take it conversation. And I've noticed this, and I know this about people. So I'm the one that can say this, because a lot of people want to go at LeBron, Stephen A. Smith, personally. Okay, he made it personal. Okay, you want to talk about it personal? Hey, Kevin Durant, you don't want to make an enemy of me. You want to take it personal. But then, don't talk about me, talk about sports. What? Shannon, you stepped in it too, right? It's okay, dog. This is okay. Don't lead with your strengths. Lead with your weaknesses, so we can all come together in vulnerability and community. Anyway, Shannon's biggest moment that we all know was on the other show, Club Shay Shay. This dude killing it. God dang, how many shows you got that is number one? It's on Club Shay Shay about a dude named Katt Williams who was talking about nothing but other people. So much that the other people mad at him. So much that they were mad at Katt, they got mad at Shannon for allowing him to give the platform to make them sit there and have to deal with all of this talk. Why are you letting this guy come on here and talk trash about us? Some of it's true, some of it ain't true. Point being, it is what it is. We all talk about nouns. Stop trying to act like your nouns are better than somebody else's.
But they don't want to be entertaining while you constantly trying to berate somebody and put somebody down.
There you go.
That's the thing. Okay.
What's wrong? Whatever that desk is, table, good luck. You're not going to survive too many more of them Shannon punches.
Hell, I ain't did anything entertaining in quite some time. I'm planning on keeping it that way.
Hey, don't worry. I'll take care of the entertainment part. You hear me?
You say what?
Let me take care of the entertaining part. Let me be the villain. That's my spiel. I'll be the bad guy.
Ocho, they taking things that we said in like I said in the first month, and you and I was joking in the first month of the show.
Yes, sir.
They playing it now, and people say, see, that's why it happened.
Okay, this is why bullets needs names. This is why my coach always says, if you're going to talk about somebody, names and numbers. If you're not, what you talking about, right? In this situation, who are you talking about? It ain't me. I don't even know what you're talking about. But I want to know because it shouldn't be this general gloss. If you really want to fix an issue, you really want to get to the crux of it, you really want to skip past the symptoms and get to the illness, perform that surgery, which is exact. Go there. Oh, you don't want to go there and want to give them oxygen? You don't want to give them breathing room? Well, why are you talking about it right now? Like, to have a conversation about something but not name it is useless because you're not going to address the person that needs to be addressed. You're not performing that surgery. You're not direct enough. It's okay. It's bothering you because you're talking about it, but then it doesn't bother you enough for you to address what the real issue, the real people, the real nouns are. Come on, big dog. We got to be better than this. This is a trick. I'm going to tell you what movie showed you this trick. It's interesting. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Bro, I said that 3 years ago.
Call them out then, damn it.
Because you take the clips.
The clips.
You want try to paint me in a negative light. And people don't know any better because if it's up there, if we post something today, people gonna assume it was said today or yesterday.
Yeah,
they're not looking to see, man. He said that about not going to girls' house 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Somebody help me. Beat it up in the comments. Continue.
Why y'all talking about it now?
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. It took me a while to understand. I see what y'all trying to do. Y'all realize what the algorithm is. Y'all know who's in the algorithm. Mention his name.
Say it.
People gonna click. Hey, Shannon Sharpe won an Oscar. Click. Shannon Sharpe was walking down the street. His car broke down. Click. It is what it is. It is what it is now, Ocho. So we just got to accept that. We just got to, Joe. Yeah. I'm sorry that we roped you into it, but you a part of it now. So anything that Ocho and I do,
it's guilty by association.
You guilty by association.
Love it. Blah blah blah. That was interesting. That was a thinner skin assessment than I anticipated. You know, I'm thinking like when he said, especially when he said, you want to talk about Skip and you want to talk about, Stephen, Skip. You want to talk about Stephen A, you want to talk about me, Shannon. I was like, is that thinly veiled or are you talking to me? Because I know I do a lot of content on them. They top dogs. Just like the top dogs do a lot of content on the other top dogs. Why y'all talking about the Lakers? Why y'all talking about LeBron? Why y'all talking about Luka? Why you talking about Shador? Why you talking about Dion? We all doing the same thing. We just picking the sauce we like, right? I like all the sauces. I want the whole thing. El Torito's happy hour. Give it to me, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about you, y'all, them, that, this, everybody. Now, what videos you click on is a you problem, not a me problem. But you're going to have the buffet, trust me. But I thought that was ironic for Shannon to kind of go there on somebody. But he did break it down. He said somebody is using me out of context. They clipping me out. They piecing stuff together. They doing AI basically on me, which made them feel a certain type of way. And I'll feel a certain type of way too if someone intentionally was trying to put me out of context. I get that. But I want to give y'all this last trick because this is interesting. It's happening in media. It always happened. But it's a play off of this. Discontent for money is a trick of the rich that they use on the poor to keep them without it, right? So they act like money ain't all that, money ain't this, money, and then they make the poor people be like, yeah, it ain't all about money, realizing that, go get that dough. Discontent for money is a trick of the rich, keep the poor without it. You know what's crazy? This is going on in media right now. Like this whole discontent. Don't talk about me. Don't talk about me. I'm not content. They're content. Who is they? Players. Who are they? The ones on the team. Hold on. But you became the star. You talk about him, and it goes beyond his performance. So now, why can't he return that fire? Discontent for talking about other people is a trick of the media to make sure that they stay protected while you stay disrespected. I just made that up in my head, but it's the same damn thing. No, if you dish it out, you better take it. Welcome to new media, Draymond, as you would say. Now, in all seriousness, I've been on both sides, as you know. So I never liked it when I was in the media, if you go back and watch clips, of us just sitting there in three-piece suits clowning cats. And clowning cats better than you. Okay? Now, Shannon Sharpe has a hard time finding some tight ends better than him. But imagine if Gronk is probably better. The 2 or 3 that snuck past him since. He was the best when he retired. Absolutely. But there's some guys that probably got him right now. Tony Gonzalez, Gronk, whatever you want to go. Gates. And you just undress them. Okay? I've heard the commentary before. When I was there, I was like, dog, we can't do that. You can't be talking about people like that, especially the grind and we all in the fraternity, especially how good they are. And some of them better. Like Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Famer. Ocho not a Hall of Famer. So he talking about Hall of Famers. If he can, he could. It's just like it's a trick so that they can, when they want to, talk about somebody. And when they don't want to be talked about, they pull this trick. I think in this world right now, no one is above it. No one's absolved from that. So beat up in the comments if you know, one, who is he talking about or what are you talking about? But 2, have you caught on to that trick? Because I know when we say, all right, we're going to play by those rules. Protect the media. Don't talk about the media. The media is doing their job. They're just talking about sports. And then you listen. You're like, wait a minute, dog. You ain't talking about no sports. You ain't talking about that player. You're talking about that person. Then they all of a sudden say, oh, no. Throwing rocks and hiding their hands. So beat up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Oh, that wasn't enough? Y'all want some more? Well, check out the link in my bio. Hydration Situation Live. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the
Time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So